Hello, and welcome to not a top 10, but a top 5 video on the top 5 best items to get in early Act 2 to make sure you have all the money you need in Divinity Original Sin 2. Now, this is a playthrough that I am doing on stream. We just got to Act 2 earlier today. Actually, we got there yesterday, but I reloaded an old save. Anyway, this group just got to Act 2. All I have done since getting to Act 2 is explore the island. I have done no combat outside of the combat you would normally do to get to the town square here. I am only at level 10. If you do everything in Act 1, you'll end up at 10 before you even step foot on this island. So we are fresh into Act 2, and we're going to get a whole bunch of items, not a whole bunch, top 5 items, to get you the most money you can get in Act 2, just kind of set yourself up for success. And if you've been playing Divinity for any amount of time, you'll probably know the easiest way to get a lot of money in this game is by bumping up your thievery. Alright, the higher your thievery is, the more money you can steal. So if you look at that little pop-up window that pops up when I highlight my thievery skill there, you'll notice I'm currently at level 6 with some gear bumping it up, but at level 6 I can steal up to 6,000 total gold worth of stuff. At level 7, that 6,000 cap goes up to 9,400. That's over a 50% increase in what I can steal for bumping it up just one level. Because the soft limit is 5. As you go above that limit, the amount you can steal goes up dramatically. So we're going to bump that thievery up quite a lot and show you some weapons, gear, armor, etc., etc. Items that you can get to bump that up. So first thing we're going to do, from the town square, come up over here. Now you do need somebody, I believe it's high wits that you need, although I know the tag of being a barbarian, scoundrel or something along those lines. I don't have it on any of these guys, these are all custom, but I believe it's called a scoundrel. Anyway, there's a background that helps, but I believe wits is all you actually need, so we're going to give our main character here peace of mind. Talk to Dashing June right up here. She's going to ask you to help her find her lost pouch of money. She's scamming you, there is no pouch. Just if you ask her how much money was stolen from her, you know, she'll try to just get you to pay it back.
Never. Honest work.
So I'll just keep an eye out on her way. As she reaches out to shake your hand, she tries to steal from you. Yeah, you need high wits. If you don't have high wits, you can do it with the tag. But high wits, just, you know, be nice to her. And if you're nice to her, tell her you remember Butter from Fort Joy. She will give you fancy gloves. Fancy gloves right here, and we're going to just kind of clear out all our inventory so that it's just on this top character here to see all the stuff that we're looking at. Sorry, it's going to take a minute. Got a lot of little things up here to move. So we have fancy gloves. They give you +2 thievery. Every other set of gloves in the game, they have a chance to give you plus thievery, but they would only give you +1 thievery. These are going to give you +2 thievery, which is it's good. Considering that the soft cap is 5, that extra 1 point is pretty nice. That's significant. Alright, moving over here into the Black Bull Tavern, you're going to find Papa Thrash over here. Now, you can just bribe him to get into the basement. That's his normal role here, is he's kind of like a bouncer. Let's see, yeah, so he's like a bouncer, but also a scoundrel skillbook vendor. He sells some daggers and stuff, but he also sells this unique chest piece. This is the only chest piece in the game that if you look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little rows down, it says +1 thievery. That is a chest piece that gives +1 thievery. It's the only one in the game that does that, so you're going to want that. You want to max out thievery, you're going to want that. Alright, so that gives us some gloves, it gives us a chest piece, and, you know, that's nice. That's extra 2 thievery, but we can get more. We can do better. So what we're going to do now is we're going to waypoint. Like I said, I explored the island a little bit, didn't actually do much, just ran around. And now up here at the fields, because this is probably just the quickest way to get there, you will notice in this hut, Gareth and Jonathan, Magister childhood friend of Gareth's are in there. Don't talk to them. Don't trigger that scene. Don't acknowledge them. You don't want to ever interact there. Alright. Let's see. What is the fastest way to get over here? This part of the map is always a little wonky. Alright, the landmark I always look for is this kind of broken bridge that you can still cross. So you could also go from the graveyard if you've already explored the graveyard. That's kind of this blacked out area on the map here that I haven't actually explored to. That would probably be the quickest way to get there via waypoint. I went from Paladin Bridgehead across, and went up around this way. So you're going to have a flag right here, and then this building here is Gareth's family home. That's where you're going to want to go, and remember, you do not want to have interacted with Gareth where he was over at the fields waypoint. Okay, do not interact with Gareth over here. Interact with him over here on the map. So, good, bad, alright, for interacting with Gareth. He's going to be over here. I mean, plotline-wise, like, it's sadder, but you profit more. So we're going to talk to Gareth.
Gareth toils in monotony.
He is burying his parents. They died via some Voidwoken, or was it Voidwoken or Magisters? He has his own little theory and blames Dallas and all that. I don't think it's explicitly said if it was Dallas's people or if it was Voidwoken, but it's one of the two. But you're going to talk to him. You can persuade him. You can not persuade him. For the sake of this video, it doesn't matter. You can look through it within your own game and decide what you want to do with Gareth. But once he walks off into oblivion, disappears, you're going to want to dig up, I believe it's the left grave. Let's see. Might be the right, but I think it's left. Yep. So on there you're going to find Gareth's dad's body. Fresh kill, you know, by whatever Voidwoken Magisters, whatever. But he's got this dagger on it, the Pride of Price. It gives +1 sneaking and +1 thievery. So it is a dagger that gives +1 thievery. Also something you wouldn't otherwise ever see in the game. So now we have, that's the wrong button. We now have gloves that give +2 thievery. That's one more than gloves can normally give. We have a chest piece that gives +1 thievery. Chest pieces normally can't, so that's an extra +1. And we have the Pride of Price, which gives an extra +1, which daggers usually cannot. So that's an additional +1 on what any normal gear can give you. Alright, so we are looking pretty good on plus thievery items. Now we are going to go back to the fields. Now this one, you got to have somebody with decent persuasion or Iphon in your party. I don't think any other origin characters are going to help. I know Iphon can. I'm not actually going to go that way. I'm going to go around this way. Anyway, we're going to go over to the Lone Wolf camp. It is over here. So I'm just going to get over here and then skip ahead. Alright, so the Lone Wolf camp right up here. From the fields waypoint, you have to go across this way. There's an elf camp over here. You can go there. I didn't because I just wanted to get this video done. So you come over here, and we're going to have to go past this area. Now you could kill these guys, but they're at level 14, so if you're doing this, you know, at level 10 like I am, you probably don't want to fight them right now. But if you have a high persuasion, you can just say whatever you want as long as you have a high persuasion. I do not know what the minimum persuasion is, but you should be pumping your civil abilities so that they are at 4 or 5 at this point. I believe I still have, I still have all skilled up, so you could be at least at level 4 persuasion right here. Could be 5, and if you have a non-undead lizard, it could be at 6. So you just don't want to fight these guys. Alright, so once you get through the end of the camp, right, camp's up here, you're going to go around here, there's a door here. You can tactical retreat over it, teleport through it, whatever movement speed you want, or you can unlock the door. I think the guard yells at you if you unlock the door, so I did just tactical retreat and then use the teleporter pyramids to get the rest of the party over here. But anyway, you're going to come across this river, and then right around here, if you have really high wits, you'll already see it. I'm going to hit myself with Peace of Mind. Okay, I almost went right on it. There's going to be a dig spot right there. And this one, you don't need this one, but it helps. Over here you will find Hala's Shiny Ribbon. And you might also find some stuff you can identify. We'll just get that real quick. But the main thing we want is that belt. Now this one does give +1 thievery. However, you can get belts that normally just have +1 thievery, so it's not that big a deal. The reason I'm including this is because it gives you +2 finesse, okay? Which means you don't need to put this on a finesse character. This one has a minimum finesse of 12 to wield it. This one has a minimum finesse of 12 to wield it. This one has a minimum finesse of 12 to wield it. Now, while this does have +2 finesse on it, you have to, use a bedroll or peace of mind or encourage, something else, to where if it wears off, well, actually it won't wear off because it gives +2 finesse. Point is, you have a limited time frame to swap it out. You can just throw this on somebody, gives you the +2 finesse, and then you don't need to worry about any of these becoming unequipped or any of that issues. Also, it gives +1 sneaking, which is also nice for stealing. It makes you harder to find. It makes the little red cones that people see, makes those a lot narrower, so more sneaking is also very nice. Now, those are the top 1, 2, 3, 4 items we have right here that are going to help out with stealing. Now, this is the top 5 list, though, so there is going to be some more stuff here. So we are actually going to go back to the Fields Waypoint. I probably should have dropped the teleporter pyramid down. But we're going to go outside of that lone wolf camp now. We're going to find another chest like the one we just dug up. Okay, so we just dug up this chest right here. I accidentally clicked open before, talking about nonsense that you don't really need. But you're going to dig up this chest here, and you're going to find Justinia's favor, these gloves. I'm actually just going to take... Well, I'm not going to bother cluttering stuff there. Now, these ones don't give you thievery, but they give you plus bartering, which bartering also helps you make money. This isn't just a top 10 thievery items, or top 5 thievery items list. It's also items that just help you make money. And having an item that gives you extra bartering is really nice, especially because, like with the thievery stuff, you can get bartering on other things. Like, I believe I have +1 bartering on that belt there, but gloves do not ever give bartering. This is the only glove in the game that'll give you +1 bartering. Alright, so with that, we are now going to go back to the square. Now that was 5 items, right? But we're going to do a little bit of a bonus because, A, we can get more bartering without technically using an equipable item. And B, we're just going to segue that into a new way you can kind of make money, because this one also gives lucky charms. First thing we're going to do is talk to Trader Thun over here. Alright, and this is a guy that I typically like to bribe him early on to get discounts on his stuff. Not because he sells anything good, as you can see. Oh, that's the one thing I didn't want to buy from him, actually. 2 things I didn't want to buy. Where's... Yeah, there we go. So you want to buy a void tainted fish from him. Doesn't matter which type of fish, just a void tainted fish. I'm just gonna get rid of 1, just because I'm picky like that. So we're gonna get a void tainted mackerel, and I want to remember what that one looks like because I do have some other fish in my inventory. So you want to buy that from him. But it's also good to bribe him because he doesn't sell anything useful, so you can sell all of your junk to him and not worry about cluttering up his inventory. So when you get all this, extra bartering here, you can use him as a guy to sell stuff too, to make your money back from selling stuff. Alright, so after we get that mackerel, we're going to want to come in here. You can talk to either Prudence back here or Laverick over here. Either one is fine. We're going to take the meaty stew from him. And that's all we're going to do. He's going to ask you some stuff. Don't worry about it for right now. We're just going to take our leave. And what we are going to do is we're going to take... Well, that's not the right tab, actually. We're going to take that meaty stew, and we're going to combine it with the... Where's the void tainted mackerel at? There it is. Void tainted mackerel. And that's going to give us Tainted Stew. Okay, right there, Tainted Stew. Now, if you walk over to this guy, Garvin, Garvin is kind of a dick. He killed his mentor, all that. There's a lot of reasons he's a dick. But we're going to give him the Tainted Stew. That's the stuff we just mixed up with the void tainted fish in there. And then he's going to run over here, and because we gave him the Tainted Stew, it gave him some bowel issues. He runs right over into the outhouse, which, we did kind of poison him, so can't really judge him on that one. But then we're going to teleport Garvin over here, start up some combat. Try to buff up beforehand. Alright, haste didn't quite go off. Anyway, we are going to just kill Garvin now. Alright, once Garvin is finished off here, you're going to loot his body, and on his body, you're going to find Garvin's head. Which, you know, there's a lot of body parts you find in this game. Garvin's head does something a little unique. When you eat his head as an elf, you have to be a living elf, so unfortunately this character can't do it just yet. But when you eat Garvin's head, you get a permanent +1 to bartering, which I think is pretty useful. But what you can do is you can take Fane's Mask of the Shapeshifter, or you can make your own Shapeshifter mask. If you don't have this from Act 1, which you should, but if you don't, you can make one by getting a Face Ripper. Get that off of Niles in Act 1. There's also one in Niles' bedroom in the top floor of the tavern here. But you get a Face Ripper, rip off the face of an elf, preferably for this specific use at least, and then just combine that face with a Source Orb, and you get a helmet that allows you to shapeshift into that race. We're going to put this on our bartering character real quick. So click that. We're going to shapeshift into an elf, sorry. Because you don't need to stay an elf to keep the benefits of body parts you eat in this game. So we're going to now eat Garvin's head.
Garvin kills his men.
Because he was like a traveling salesman, vendor, what have you. He gives you, from Trade Secrets, that first blue star at the bottom there, +1. Go to Talents, you now have Trade Secrets. Trade Secrets gives you a +1 to bartering. So now it's at 7, which it was at 8 before, but that's because we had this hat on, so we're going to swap this hat back on, taking off the Shapeshifter mask. Now it's at 9. Now we have 9 bartering. Our gear gives us +3, and then we get +1 from Trade Secrets, and now if we wanted to with this character, we could also give them these gloves. So now we have a 10 in bartering over here. That's a lot of bartering. You can get stuff real cheap. I'm actually going to come over here, and actually, on top of that, unfortunately I can't use the Mask of the Shapeshifter and keep this hat on. But if you had just a normal human shapeshift into an elf to eat that head, and then you put on this hat is from Act 1, by the way, gives you +2 to bartering, you could get an additional +1 bartering from being human.
Back again, eh?
Alright, so we're going to check his inventory here, and with no bribing at all, just the bartering, we're getting a 41% discount on his stuff. 41%. Now, I think part of that might be because I've got high persuasion on another character, and I've got one of the gift bag features on. The, hagglers. However, that's still insane. Like, the 10 on there, like 41% discount. Like, I can now just bribe this guy. I think I need like 650. I'm not going to bother. But 10 bartering, big discount. You will now save a bunch of money buying stuff. You will now make significantly more money selling stuff. Alright, so now we've got all of our items back here on the boat. I'm back on the boat because I think we're going to have some issues swapping out strength gloves. So I just want to make sure we don't run into that issue. So we have 6 thievery with 6,000 total gold being able to be stolen. We also have 12 kilograms of weight we can steal. We could also keep an eye on that, but 6,000 gold value we can steal is what I'm looking for. Let's see how high we get that when we equip all of our newfound gear. So we're going to equip those gloves. We're going to equip that chest piece. We're going to equip that dagger, and we're going to equip that belt. We now have 10 thievery, and that 6,000 gold that we could steal is now 36,650 gold. That is over 6 times the amount of gold we can steal. Alright, we have 5,000 here, 4,000, that's about 9,000. Let's call that 10,000. So we have 23,000 there, 23.5. We can even round it up so 24,000 gold is the total amount of gold we have. In one in one pickpocketing instance, we can now steal more gold than all the gold we currently have with just picking one pocket. Now, they have to have that much to start with, but we can pickpocket more gold than the entire party has right now off of one pocket. That is insane. We also get a little bit of extra sneaking so that we're a little bit harder to see. So I don't think anybody on the boat actually makes the vision cones. Oh, she does. So like these cones are also smaller because we've got some extra sneaking. So not only can we steal more, it is going to be easier to steal. And that is just going to make you so much money, on top of your bartering getting bumped up with those gloves. You can get bartering up to 10, I believe, if you are a human who shapeshifts into an elf to get that extra +1. So we are going to end the video there. Next video we're going to do is going to be the Lucky Charm video. I decided to split that up into a second one just because there's a bit of a process to it. So next video is going to be how to maximize Lucky Charm. But right there is just, this is really going to be your moneymaker. Right here is the bartering and the thievery. You can steal so much gold, sell all your stuff for so much gold, buy all the stuff for such tiny amount of gold. You're going to have more money than you know what to do with if you just get these items early on. Make sure you use them when you do any stealing or bartering. Alright, thanks for watching. See ya next time.